Hi, I'm Milton Rendell and welcome to Real News Friday. Another big week in sales in West Australia. Just over 1,000 sales, 1,010, down about 4% the previous week, but 1,000 is a pretty good effort. In terms of stock, there's about 8,313 properties on the market. It's up about 2%, but it's not a big variation. Still light on stock really in terms of demand. Demand's still fairly strong out there. Plenty of interest out there. Home opens are getting good attendance. Rentals is a new interesting one, and the vacancy rate continues to be very, very low. In fact, it's probably the first time in my career I've got other agents ringing me trying to help their relatives to find a rental. So that sort of shows where it is currently. I thought it may have softened a little bit by now, but it seems to be consistent and continuing. So we'll keep an eye on this because it's sort of going longer than probably expected. But for those who are investors, it's a great thing. And obviously the rent reviews will start as of the end of this month. Obviously, once the moratorium's over from the government, we'll see an increase in rents, and we've been talking about this in the previous weeks. But to the landlords out there, be sensible in what you seek. They have been down a bit. You still need to be realistic in people can only afford what they can afford, and you don't want properties sitting vacant later. It may be good for today, but you still need to take a medium to long-term view of how long you want to hold your tenants. In terms of stock out there in the rentals, there's 2,747, which is still down 49% of where we were 12 months ago. So it's still a clear indication that we're short on demand, short on supply, I should say. Last week footy was back on. That was fantastic. My football team got done. I hope your teams did well. For the Eagles supporters out there, you'd all be pretty happy. For the female supporters, you have hit a busload of Chinamen. It's just unbelievable. You're not having a lot of luck. Hopefully that turns for you in the next couple of weeks. Just in general, the marketplace, like I said earlier, it's certainly interesting. And I was talking to Mike Palmer from our commercial and industrial section of the group, and Mike was telling me it's probably the busiest he's seen it for quite some time, and Mike's been within the group for over 20 years, saying that the demand for properties to lease in the commercial spot and the industrial section, very, very high. So he's out there looking for more properties, as we are looking for properties to sell on the residential side and to lease. So it's an interesting one, but if anyone's thinking about selling or leasing out any of their properties, we'd be happy. We'd love to hear from you. Same situation in the Hills. I know the Chidlow and the Bakers Hill offices have been absolutely flat out. We've just completed a retreat, which I catch up with the sales teams once a year. Just been down at Fairbridge near Pinjarra. It was a great little event. We sort of exchange ideas, look at marketing ideas, new concepts, where the market's going. Overall feedback is everyone says that they're all busy, looking for stock, but more importantly, we are seeing that pressure to price, which we spoke about in previous videos, and that we are starting to see a movement definitely in values. So over the next few months, we're expecting they'll probably still move. How far, we're not too sure, but I'll also get back to supply and demand. But it's interesting times ahead. 2021 still looks like it's going to be very, very positive, and I think this will continue probably into early 2022 at this stage. But overall, this market's looking fairly buoyant. One of the things we did in our getaway is reflect to where it was 12 months ago, and it was like a completely different world 12 months ago in terms of where the market was, where we were, the doubt that was in people's minds. COVID had impacted our market fairly strongly, and obviously it affected the world very strongly. So as we are seeing, things are starting to turn around, but once again, I've said it before, we're very lucky to be in Australia, and particularly in Western Australia. So we'll continue to see positiveness going forward. Anyway, in the meantime, if you want to know anything else about Real Estate Plus, just check out realestateplus.com.au. Have a great weekend, and look forward to speaking to you next week.